Yes, I know it's been a while. If you're gonna get angry at anyone, be angry at the creator. It wasn't my choice, though I'm not gonna complain about it. And neither is Meg, because she was still a bit, shaken up over the Doomsday Womb episode for understandable reasons. So yes, it was nice to have a little holiday, but unfortunately we are back with a double feature. Not of the same genre, I don't think, but it's definitely the same author. The author being... where is it? Oh, drhomie. drhomie. Well, I guess it's better than tampon masturbation. So the first story of drhomie's that we're going to be taking a look at is called Triangulation. Both of these stories are on Archive of Our Own, so the rating is explicit. Oh, wonderful. No archive warnings apply. Male on male, multi. The fandom is Challenges. Never heard of it. The relationships are Art Donaldson / Patrick Zwig. Excuse you. Pop-up. Also Art with Tashi Donaldson. Wait a minute. So that means sibling on sibling. So it's incest. Lovely. And Patrick Zwig. Right, so the additional tags, frotage, hand jobs. Oh, are you serious? Explicit sexual content, light dawn soap. Do we really have to do this fanfic as my first one back from my hiatus? Good thing Meg is running errands. Hopefully she doesn't come home to a Looney Tune. So, it's not complete apparently. I mean, I'm assuming it's supposed to be a one-shot. I mean, it doesn't say it's complete, but I'm not reading any more of the story if they do decide to update it. So it was published back in April of this year, which is the year 2024. 1,628 words, one chapter, 20 comments. Yes, 821 kudos, 71 bookmarks, and over 11,000 hits. Right, let's get this over with. Summary of the hotel room after Tashi leaves. Again, I'm not familiar with Challenges, so... Art is still doubled over from the dick slap when everything rushes back to Patrick. Tashi, what they just did, what that means for him and Art. Tashi, their final tomorrow. This stupid thing they've been ignoring since Patrick coached him into nutting all over himself. Fucking Tashi. This is delightfully gross. It's still thick with heat and tension in the room. The AC sputters and rattles like it might stop working any second. So is it not working, or do you mean it might stop working? Cigarette smoke still hangs in there, gathering around the covered smoke detector like tendrils as it gradually gets sucked out of the open window. His dick is still hard. He's a big boy. Patrick knows he was into kissing Art maybe a dangerous amount, but what Patrick is more interested in is the fact that Art is still hanging around half-mast. Or half-mast, I should say. That was my bad. The boy in question has aborted, rolling around in pain, and now just lays next to Patrick on his stomach, hiding the offending appendage he knows Patrick will shit-talk as soon as he sits up. Art's always been good at predicting Patrick's stupid moves. That's why he's the shot caller on the court. But what Patrick knows and remembers in this pocket of time after something akin to a religious experience with Tashi Duncan is that Art likes giving up. He does. It's not a bad thing. In fact, it's the opposite. That's why he says please with a tremble. That's why he asks for Tashi's number with big blue eyes. That's why he let Patrick coach him all the time ago in the dead of night on opposite beds. Oh, I think I understand now. It's the deal that his brother was giving him lessons on, you know. Still gross, though. Could you imagine me giving my brothers lessons on sex? And that's why, after that, they coincidentally started pushing their beds together and the coaching graduated to a nightly event by the time they hit 16. I'm assuming they're twins. He knows all of this, staring down at Ott's prone body with a hunger that strikes into his core. You know, Patrick stops, mouth taking control before his brain can catch up. The way you're laying. Ott moves his head so it's out of the blankets and faces Patrick. His body is still pressed against the bed, and Patrick can't help but let his gaze wander over him. His eyes stutter on Ott's ass, and he tears them away to give Ott the eye contact he deserves. Ott bites. What is it about the way I'm laying? You always have your ass tooted. Ass tooted? So is he farting or something? Patrick flicks two fingers up in a raised position in the air. Then just say his arse is up in the air. Tooted. Ott's unimpressed, and he looks away briefly like, get a load of this guy. What the fuck does that even mean? Patrick forces out a chuckle to do anything. Make more noise. Just something to make it cool. Casual. It's just... Ott turns more to face him, torso twisted but legs still flush against the bed. What? It's just funny. Patrick grins at him. He leans down so they're almost nose to nose. He mumbles, kind of gay. Well, isn't it what you two are doing right now? Oh, whatever. A calloused hand comes out to push Patrick's face away, and when he turns back, Ott's risen to the bait. He flips over and shimmies a bit on the bed to get comfortable when Patrick sees it. There it is in its full glory. Ott's dick still stands, slightly less interested, but too high for it to just be a residual from Tashi. He rests back on his elbows, looking up at Patrick with a smile too tasing to be normal in this context than it should be any other time. And Patrick looks down at him, cheesing, because sue him. He's relishing in seeing Ott like this. It's a rare treat. I'm what? Ott asks, laughing. Patrick hasn't told a joke. Patrick laughs in his face in turn. Nothing. He nods. Right. Ott licks his lips, and Patrick can't stop himself from watching the action. What do you think she's doing right now? Ott puffs out air, shaking his head. I don't know. Come on, Ott, you know. Patrick leans in closer. Their lips are millimeters away. He likes getting in Ott's space like this, the area where their breaths mingle and combine into one. The kiss with Tashi was the more intense version of this, where somehow they had all melded into one, and Tashi tried to jumpstart this thing between him and Ott. She's probably touching herself. Who wouldn't after that? We're not. Patrick can see the cog stop, the light bulb go off, and Ott chooses not to say anything. He squints at him and chases Ott's darting eyes with his face, blocking him from looking anywhere but at Patrick. Ott drags his lips through his teeth, lets his eyes rake over Patrick in a way that lights Patrick up like the sky on the 4th of July. He's implying something, and Patrick is 1,000 times sure he knows what, but he wants it out there. Patrick needs to hear him say it before he closes the distance. He just does. What? He shrugs, grin still crazy cross between shy and coy. We could. We could. Patrick chuckles. Tashi's probably thinking we are. What? Like when we were 12? But like now. You're gonna coach me. He tries to say it as a joke, but it sounds more like a plea to Patrick more than anything else. Patrick nods as slightly as he can to stay in their precautious position. Yeah, I could. Ott blinks up at him from under his lashes. You could. Patrick surges forward, and both of Ott's hands fly to Patrick's face and neck to hold him as they kiss once again in the span of 2 hours, and he can't get enough. Patrick kisses Ott like he's devouring him, and in a way, he is. He's chasing after the taste Tashi gave them. Patrick twists until they're completely slotted against each other in their half-open shirts and plaid boxers. It's Ott who buckles his hips up to rut against Patrick's hard-on and thigh. He gets the message, though, moving in tandem with Art. Patrick breaks away from the kiss. Open your legs a bit more. Like nothing, Art inches his thighs away from the vice grip they had on Patrick's leg. Patrick's hand travels down from Art's face to his dick where it twitches under the fabric. The cloth above it is damp and Patrick grins at Art's blotchy red face, like they're sentient. Patrick's fingers snake up into the hem of Art's shirt and they work in tandem to pull it off. Quickly, Patrick's open shirt joins on the floor as they're back to just their boxers, like before Tashi knocked. So I'm assuming they were getting it on before this Tashi lady showed up. I'm assuming Tashi's a lady. Patrick's hand continue their descent and he takes their dicks out of their shorts. So okay, I guess he's taking them both out. And presses them together. Breath hitching the same time as Art does. So are they just going to rub their tips up against each other? Okay then. Okay, you ready? Patrick grips their dicks and giggles at the way Art jolts under him. Art nods, Patrick nods in return. He moves his hand from around his dick to Art's mouth, and the other hand travels the length of Art's bare chest, same as Art's hands as they keep tangling in Patrick's curls and gripping at his arms and neck. Patrick holds Art's eyes the same way he does when Art needs to spit out his gum. And Art spits onto Patrick's hand. He smiles. He goes back down with his spit-slick hand and starts stroking them together. Art can't help it. His self-control has always been short and starts underneath him, chasing any sort of friction. I bet you Tashi's thinking about this right now, her long fucking legs and perfect body, leaning back in, relieving the view. Patrick stays in Art's face as the boy rubs against him and his face scrunches with pleasure. Yeah, Art breathes out. I see her. I can see her opening her legs and slipping her fingers down, sitting and watching. Can you? Who's she watching? Patrick thinks Art knows the answer. He just wants to hear it. Us, he says, hurriedly, like he's confessing something. Patrick's hand speeds up and Art groans, muffling it with Patrick's shoulder as he mouths and kisses at it. She's looking at us like tonight. Just like tonight. Fuck. Art grunts out and he shoots a hand down around them too, covering Patrick's. He sets the pace, and it's like the back and forth of a good volley with grunts of effort in the air as he and Art move in sync. Just like now. They stare at each other, open mouth panting into each other's face, becoming the other's oxygen as the pace gets faster and faster. She wants to see it. See us go even faster. Good fucking tennis. Yeah. Patrick pants out. Good fucking tennis. We're at match. What are you gonna do? You gotta do something. She's watching. I highly doubt she's watching. Art pulls Patrick down into a clashing kiss. It's sloppy, tongue slipping out and teeth clicking. But Art sets the speed to Mark 8, and suddenly their kissing turns into desperate attempts to invade the other's body and win. The sounds in the air are obscene, but they're almost kind of funny to Patrick, the part of him that isn't wholly consumed by Tashi Duncan and Art Donaldson. They're playing a game. They come at the same time, of course they do. All over each other and exhaling into each other's mouth. Matching pants echo in their hotel room. I'm sure the other tenants really appreciate hearing their lovemaking. But neither move. Patrick stares down at Art. Fucked up in bright red Art, with blue eyes and a stripe of brown and a jawline that looks fake. I got a shower, Patrick says, instead of anything to address any one of the things that had just occurred tonight. He can't help himself, though, and leans down to kiss Art again. He pulls away and grins, getting up and walking to the bathroom. They're playing a game and there's no winner. Right, that was disgusting. So we're going to move on to the next story of drhomie's, their own Atlanta. Hopefully this one's not... Oh, never mind, it is. It's mature. It's not, what was the other rating for the other one? Explicit? Okay, so it's not explicit. So I don't think there will be as much, going on, but still. Category multi. Again, challenges. Okay, so I guess I could say this is the challenges double feature, but we'll just stick with the drhomie double feature. Because again, I don't know the movie challenges at all. So the relationship, Alt Donaldson, Tashi Donaldson, Patrick Zwig. Oh, okay, I think Tashi is Alt's sister. Oh. That makes it even worse! That makes it even worse! Ah, bloody Christ. Characters, Alt Donaldson, Tashi Donaldson, Patrick Zwig, Lily Donaldson. There's another Donaldson. Right, so this one was published back in May of 2024. It has 2,127 words, 5 comments, 188 kudos, 29 bookmarks, and 1,593 hits. Their own Atlanta. Summary. Aftershocks of the New Rochelle Challenger. Notes. New Tashiatric fic drop. So it's going to be the same two fellows again in this one. Also, I'm third-partied on Tumblr. I made a couple of different challenger posts that were doing numbers, and then I accidentally deleted my blog, so follow me there. No thank you. Right, let's get this over with. After the match, with Lily at Tashi's mom's and a long shower, Patrick Zwig lounges in a chair in the living room, nursing a whiskey Tashi made him. She's stretched out in a corner of the couch, and Art's across the way from her on the floor in a pseudo triangle with the two of them curled almost into himself. Tashi has already finished her whiskey and eyes her glass like another one will just appear. Patrick grins at them, the same shit-eaten one that smiled at Art when with a bitten banana in his hand. Patrick starts the conversation like he always does. So, what's the move here? What move? Tashi always so quick to challenge. It's what draws them to her. Patrick shrugs. He's flippant. Never lets things get too close to him unless it's them. The only other thing I can think of is maybe Tashi's like the wife of one of the characters, so maybe it's not a sibling thing, but I digress. It's what draws them to him. Why am I here? Why are we drinking together like old buddies? Aren't we? Alt speaks up. He's nervous, even though he knows them inside and out. Alt with his puppy eyes and bleeding heart. It's what draws them to him. Patrick nods once, tongue sliding across teeth as he considers the words said. He takes a drink. You told me you didn't care about me. Tashi chuckles once, dryly. Alt doesn't laugh. In fact, Alt's expression is unreadable. A development that stings Patrick in the spot that never quite got over their lost friendship, relationship, whatever. Tashi looks at the two of them, notices the twisted expressions on their faces, really notices them, and laughs sardonically this time. She shakes her head. What a load of bullshit. Alt opens his mouth to protest or something else. Patrick can't tell, but Patrick cuts him off, ripping away from Alt and to Tashi, the only other person that can hold his attention like this. You know, Tashi and I would like to talk about you. Tashi doesn't look away to Art. Instead, she holds Patrick's gaze while he airs out their dirty laundry. He's right, she co-signs. Then, both of them turn to focus on Art. The guy looks caught out, a deer in headlights waiting to be obliterated by a semi. He doesn't know what to do under their eyes. Each synapse in his brain is firing, and they're only across the room from him. This is something he can still infer just off of the way Alt's breath hitches and his fingers twitch. We talk about you like you were there. Patrick shakes his head, eyes downcast. We never left you out. Never. Not even when he wanted to. Art was always there. You did, though. Art swallows. You did. Tashi shrugs. Everyone was left out. Voracious living. Patrick shakes his head, raising his glass in a mock toast. It'll be the death of us. And he downs his drink. Tashi turns back to her empty glass. We're out of whiskey. Art looks around. Seems like it. It's silent in the room until Tashi moves on the sofa until she's more towards the center. She pats the two spaces on either side of her, and this time Art doesn't ask. He and Patrick stand at the same time in an echo of that hotel room. Is this supposed to be the same? Oh. They take their places like it's a well-practiced dance. Everything that Patrick is made out of aches. It tightens with want. Tashi kisses Art first. Maybe I was supposed to read this story first. Maybe this is the story that takes place before the other one. I might be. I don't know. Oh well, I read them out of order. It's full of things unsaid and sorrow not dissimilar from the night before. But there's promise in it, like Patrick has been the piece too far away to complete their connection. His hands roam her body, feeling the flushed skin. It's voyeuristic to watch, but right at the same time. And then she pulls away. Tashi turns and kisses Patrick next. It's fiery. The spark that has to be tended to in Art lights quickly in Patrick. Patrick grips at every part of Tashi he can reach. He can feel as Art watches. Liquid heat pools in his gut at the attention. Tashi pulls away, breathing out. She cups their faces, changed by the decades and sun from the courts beating down on them. Oh! Okay, that Challenges movie. I think I know what it is now. It's that tennis movie. The one with Zendaya in it. Okay, I think that's what the movie is. And guides them to hers. They kiss in the ridiculous three-way they did back in that hotel all that time ago. Patrick feels like he's being consumed, and he's consuming all at once. They're like wildfires that burned and burned until they found each other and burned even brighter, hotter. He melts in the crossfire, beginning anew whenever he's with them. They kiss each other all over. It's too much. Patrick feels a kiss on his sternum, his arms, his neck, and in turn he kisses every piece of skin that he sees. Tashi and Art alike, singing his lips on the surface of their skin. Tashi pulls away. They all do. 3 matching sets of inhale, exhale, too fast to be normal. Patrick doesn't know who to look at. Art, who he is thinking he's in love with since he can remember, or Tashi, the woman who's been haunting him since he broke her fucking leg in college. Patrick stops. He can tell Art's having the same issue as his eyes dart back and forth between him and his wife. Okay, so yes, it's not a sibling thing. So there's that. I'm gonna try something. He presses a hand to the front of Tashi's slip and pushes in. Fingers that circle her clit and slick themselves up and make Tashi's breath quicken. Well, so much for that. Explicit. It should have been rated explicit, but I digress. Patrick's staring at Art, though, inching closer over to Tashi's lap to kiss him the same way they did years ago. It deepens quickly, becoming more and more fervent as they make up for lost years. 3 months after the Challenger, Patrick moves in with the Donaldsons. Okay. So I guess we're time jumping. The US Open goes well enough. Art wins and it rounds out his career. Last Grand Slam and a chance to stay home with the kid. Besides, now Tashi's able to switch targets and coach Patrick through his last 2-3 seasons. Somehow, the press has already picked up on it, running headlines and segments day in, day out about Tashi's new project and the old duo's tournaments between him and Patrick. They've settled down in a house now, a place in upstate New York, fitting maybe. It's outfitted with the best facilities for tennis and any sort of training needed to be the best of the best. And it's not for him, something that leaves Art feeling weightless every time he remembers. The house itself is smaller than he grew up in, definitely smaller than what Patrick did, but he likes it. It's a family home for 3 batshit tennis players and a daughter with confusing parent-teacher conferences. As long as they don't involve the daughter with their more intimate lessons. He walks into the living room on his way to the front door. Tashi's on the couch watching one of the broadcasts now, feet curled up and a laptop open with too many tabs for all to make sense of. And Patrick's on the other side, legs stretched out and toes fiddling the fabric of her shorts. Art just passes by, plucking his keys off the hook to pick Lily up from school, but the two of them look up at the light jingle of the metal. Patrick twirls one of his curls around his finger, snaking off. His eyes are full of humor, like they always are, like everything is hilarious for only a reason he knows. Art rolls his eyes, picking up Lily from practice. "How's she doing?" Patrick asks. Art's chest swells with pride as he responds with, "Coach says she's one of the best." He grins fully now. Atta girl. In the corner of his eye, he can see Patrick grabbing at Tashi's shorts while with his feet, pestering her for no other reason because he can. Vaguely, in the back of Art's mind, he wonders if this is how they were when she was at Stanford. "Good," Tashi says. It's funny how Tashi clearly wants to ask more questions, but she raises her hands in surrender. He and Patrick share a look, but Tashi doubles down. "I'm staying out of it, I promise." "You don't have to," Art offers. Patrick starts. "Not all the way, at least." Tashi looks up at the two of them. "We've talked about this." She pauses. "We agreed that it would be better if I wasn't coaching. I'll go to the games, but..." Art nods. "No more proxies." "No more proxies," Tashi echoes. "Wow," Patrick giggles. "Shoemaker will be proud. Couples therapy still took some getting used to, or what do you call it when there's three people who have been unintentionally obsessed with each other for decades, having to finally talk through everything? A project. Art's pretty sure Shoemaker said it once. They're like a rat king tied together with all sorts of knots and they're unable to break away. "Fuck you," Tashi bites out with no heat behind it. Patrick finally takes hold of her shirts and she slaps Patrick's foot. "Stop it." "Ow." Patrick yanks his foot away. "Art, do something." "You did it to yourself. Don't ask for help," she says, turning back to her laptop. Patrick sighs, loud and obnoxious. It's so stupid, so mundane. But Art is content to see, hear, and watch them bicker like this. Whatever they were, it worked. She's right. Art tosses his keys in the air, catches it. The other man pouts. "You're just saying that." He shrugs, tossing the keys and catching them again. "Happy wife," Art teases. He steps over to Tashi first, kissing her on the forehead, then Patrick next. "Happy life." Okay, another jump. The locker room after the match is tense. Maybe tense isn't the right word Tashi is looking for. Suspenseful, maybe. Charged, definitely. In her bones, she knows that. Knows is used loosely. She's still not sure what the signal was. Patrick told Art they fucked. In Atlanta or last night. Something tells Tashi it doesn't matter. Or maybe it was somehow both. She doesn't feel all the way guilty. There's a semblance there because of realistic reasons. Art could divorce her. He couldn't. Well, he wouldn't. Patrick was probably a dick about it with his smug little smile. And just everything that could happen with Lily if this got out or if Art went through with concern number one. But she's got a gut feeling. The same one that told her about the sexual tension bubbling under Art and Patrick's relationship. That this will turn out okay. Because what else would her white boys be good for, if not loving each other and loving her? Over the years, since junior finals and the night she left them with raging hard-ons in a too-hot room, Tashi accepted the fact that she loves them too, about as much as she can without cheating on her real first love. She stands in the locker room watching the two of them rehydrate and put their things away. She sniffs. Like a whistle, the two of their attentions are on her. Tashi would be lying if she said she didn't like it. There's a plan in place already. Tashi just wonders if they're on board. "Lily's at my mom's tonight." She starts, watching the two of them subtly side-eye each other as she speaks. Patrick looks between her and Art. "The fuck does that have to do with me?" "You're playing stupid." "I got my shit out. You need to work on yours." He looked at Art dead in the eyes now. Tashi's 90% sure if it was just her, Patrick would have fucked her in his shitty SUV again. They have an agreement, and isn't that the best thing to have? Congrats, Art. You won her number. Patrick. Tashi interjects. We're tied. Art pops up. We're tied. Doesn't that mean something? Patrick looks between the two of them. Tashi sneaks a glance at Art, and he's on the same page. We're not talking about tennis. When have we ever? Patrick responds. He's got her there. Even when Tashi thought that they were talking about tennis, they went. We should catch up. Want me to come tuck you in? Patrick quips, snarky as always and echoing with the same word she teased him with all those years ago. No, we can just keep talking. Tashi opts to echo back. Art picks up without missing a beat, turns to Patrick and finishes her sentence. About tennis. Completing their trimutive of quotes from way back then. Patrick chuckles, biting his cheeks. Funny. And he picks up his stuff to leave. It's the suite in the Ritz. Art gets out. Just stop by. I'm not a home wrecker. And Patrick's gone, out of the locker room with the last words on his lips, the first lie he's told in years. He's gonna show up, just like she did. Notes, hope you all liked it. I think challenges might actually kill me. If I have to read another one of your stories about these characters, I think that will kill me. Bloody Christ. I mean, it was written decently, I'll give it that much, but... I mean, maybe if I knew more of the context of the Challenges movie and knew these characters more... I don't know. I mean, at least this story wasn't as explicit as the other one was, but still. I was just hoping, because I was gone for a bit, that I would have come back to, you know, a decent story. But no, I come back to more stories about sex. And I have to film another episode when I'm done doing this one. I don't know what it is yet because the creator says it's a surprise. So you won't find out until the next episode what it is. Hopefully, it's a good story. But because the creator said it was a surprise, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not going to be a good story. Right, well, if you liked today's episode, please be sure to leave a like and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll see you on the next episode. Until then, cheerio.